Hey everyone, this is what I think here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Hardy Boys series. The Hardy Boys series is a collection of mystery and adventure books written under the pseudonym of Franklin W. Dixon, first published in 1927. The books follow the teenage brothers Frank and Joe Hardy. Each book is a self-contained mystery, meaning it's easy to pick up each book and just read like from wherever you are. So for example, I picked up the second book first because I like the title better. So some positive points about this series is that it's very exciting mysteries. The mysteries take place in a lot of different places, not just in the town of Bayport, but in like, for example, here it's in a tower, here it's on a cliff, then we go to a mill, caves, etc. All these interesting location and interesting characters are portrayed. Another thing is that the characters themselves are not only are they relatable and fun, but they also are very good role models. Like Frank is very calculated and methodical and logical, and whereas Joe is more excited and he can be impulsive, but he also brings that life and energy into the books and characters. And the books encourage critical thinking. They like the mysteries inspire the readers to think logically and like see if they can solve the problem first and figure out who did it or what the mystery is actually happening. Another thing is that the books are timeless. Like I said, they're first published in 1927, and they have been since then re-released multiple times, many spin-offs, adapted into television, movies, games, and things like that. And such a book series, at its core, even if there are many changes due to cultural references and changing them, or some problematic content and replacing that to make it more modernized for contemporary audiences. Even with all those changes, the core of the books are still same, and that the fact that they have the ability to connect with readers across generations speaks to how good the books are. And another thing is first 10 books or so is written by a person called Leslie McFlaren. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And his writing is known for his humor and especially his vivid storytelling. And this is a critical aspect, not his writing, but because there are so many spin-offs and reboots. When we get to the later books, we start to see this humor dwindle, this vivid storytelling actually lacking because there are many ghostwriters attached to this project. So it's not just Leslie who wrote the books, there are multiple other people. So there are those inconsistencies in writing styles which make it a bit different to read books, which makes some books some readers have a preference to some books due to their writing style, but more or less they're like follow the same structure, which is a strength of the book because it's a mystery series, right? It has this nice clean third act structure type thing, but once you get into the later books, there's like 52 of them, I think. Once you start to get into the later books, it starts to get formulaic because it's always like the boys get assigned or they stumble upon a case, then they find the clues, then they fight the villain or like confront the villain and solve the case, and then like justice is served. And it's a very I know that's quite brief, but it's always that rise and fall that follows, and it starts to get formulaic and repetitive after some time, and makes it a pretty predictable. Like it's not very mysterious anymore. Some of the characters in the books are obviously Frank and Joe Hardy. Like I said before, Frank is the older one and he's very methodical, and Joe's the younger one and is very impulsive, but he's also very lively and full of energy. Then we have Fenton Hardy, who is the boys' father, and he's like an actual detective, and he's the inspiration for the boys to continue doing their detective stuff. And then we have Chet Morton and Tony Prito, both of whom are the Hardy Boys' friends. Chet Morton is like the brother's best friend, and he's like this comic relief character. He's very lovable, and he's known for his love of food. And Tony Prito helps the boys out. He's like a loyal friend of theirs, and he helps them by often tagging along or mainly just giving them access to his boat, which leads to some really interesting scenes. And then we finally have Aunt Gertrude, which is obviously the boys' aunt, and she disapproves of their detective activities, but she secretly admires them, which is I like that kind of nice twist. It's like everyone appreciates them. Um, but yeah, and I'd say my favorite character would probably be Joe because I relate to him the most because I'm the younger one and he's also the younger one and we're both like excited. And that's another good point about the series as a whole. The characters are quite relatable. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would give this a series probably like a 8 out of 10 because it's a good gateway into reading, but it's like some later into the books the writing can be a bit inconsistent, and some of the spin-offs tend to give importance to action more than mystery, while I'm mainly there for the mystery. And the changes make it some of the changes are made to appeal to a younger audience, which I don't really like. So there's some inconsistencies, but it's a good book series overall.